Let's get to our 5 headlines. Okay, number 1 here from the Daily Wire. Law enforcement officials in Philadelphia have reportedly launched an investigation into a vehicle that was discovered containing explosives and suspicious items, which comes as the city is rocked by left-wing anti-police riots and widespread looting. ABC 6 reported Action News has learned that police recovered propane tanks, torches, and possible dynamite sticks from this van. The bomb squad is on the scene at this hour. City officials say at least 200 businesses, many of them already struggling in the midst of the pandemic, were the targets of massive looting across the city over the last couple of nights. To assist police, an undetermined number of Pennsylvania National Guard troops will soon be arriving in the city. Well, we haven't seen them yet. Or at least we hadn't seen it. Through the first two nights of rioting, we didn't see any National Guard. And very few police, actually, out there, too. Philadelphia Mayor Jim Kenney slammed those who were looting and rioting, saying that the destruction of property will not be allowed. Well, it's already been allowed. We just got through 200 businesses that have been targeted. We're not going to allow you people to do what you've already done and continue to do. We won't allow it. He said the looting that has taken place is distressing. And it's clear that many of these folks are taking advantage of the situation, harming our businesses and communities, and doing a great disservice to those who want to protest the death of Walter Wallace Jr. Well, nobody's protesting the death of Walter Wallace Jr. No one is concerned about that. That's got nothing to do with anything that's happening. Nor should anyone be protesting it because he was charging at police with a knife. And so there's no injustice here. There's no moral outrage. It's a sad thing anytime someone dies. It's not a moral outrage, though. Nothing illegal or unlawful or unjust took place. And then he continues from there. So he calls it distressing. Great. Coming down really hard on them. This is very distressing. I'm very distressed by this. You know, reading this, it reminds you, actually, in some ways, how amazing it really is that the rioting has not, for the most part, escalated so far into larger scale terrorist attacks like bombings. Now, this is all terrorism in my view. Black Lives Matter, domestic terrorist organization. I think they would fit that categorization to a T. But this is politically motivated violence. And the leaders of Black Lives Matter, the people out in the streets, they're pretty explicit about that if you listen to them. But in terms of large-scale attacks like bombings, we haven't seen that yet. Not yet. Though it seems like from this, it's trending this way. And I can tell you that if more Democrats are put in power, people who coddle these domestic terrorists, encourage them, give them room to destroy, in the immortal words of the former mayor of Baltimore, we're going to see that escalation. Because bad guys, they'll do whatever you allow them to do. You sit back and let them loot, they'll loot. Give them even more liberty to commit crimes and more violent crimes, they'll do that too. Number 2, here's a story from a few days ago that I haven't had a chance to talk about until now, but I have to talk about it. I can't just let this one be. Article in Newsweek, it says, ahead of Thanksgiving next month, California Governor Gavin Newsom and the California Department of Public Health released new safety guidelines for all private gatherings amid the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic. The new rules come with strict restrictions that aim to help reduce the risk of spreading infection. Here's what the statement says from the CDPH, the California Department of Public Health. Gatherings are defined as social situations that bring people together from different households at the same time in a single space or place. Well, that's good. Thank you for defining gatherings for us. All gatherings must include no more than 3 households, including hosts and guests, and must be held outdoors, lasting for 2 hours or less. The longer the duration, the risk of transmission increases. Gatherings that occur outdoors are significantly safer than indoor gatherings. All gatherings must be held outside. Attendees may go inside to use restrooms. Very merciful. I thank you for that. I mean, they could be telling us to go just pee in if you're visiting your in-laws or something, they could tell you to go pee in the bushes. But no, they're allowing you to go inside. So thank you so much to our benevolent rulers. I am so grateful. So you maybe go in to use the restroom. The new rules state that those at the gathering may remove their face coverings briefly to eat or drink, as long as they stay at least 6 feet away from everyone outside their own household and put their face covering back on as soon as they are done with the activity. It also mentions that now that, of course, no singing or shouting or any other form of loud communication will be allowed. So Democrats in California, talk about the war on family. I could have included this. I was saving it for here. They are telling you how many of your own family members you can have at your home, where on your property you're allowed to meet with them, how long you may be with them, what you may do together while you are with them, and also that you have to wear a mask. You can lift it up to take a drink, but make sure you're 6 feet away. So every time you want to take a drink, you have to run away from everybody, lift up your mask, take the drink, and then go back. This is almost unbelievable. I have to tell you, when I first saw this online, I'm not even saying this to be funny. I really thought it might be a parody. I thought, because someone had screenshotted some of the stuff, like some of the passages from this article, and I think that's how I first saw it on Twitter. And I really thought it was from Babylon Bee, but no, this is very real. And of course, it goes without saying, should go without saying, they have absolutely no authority to do this at all. They have no authority and no power, no legitimate power to tell you how many family members you can have at your own house. I mean, the California Department of Public Health, what the hell authority do you have to make these decisions for me and what I can do in my own home? Number 3, if you needed more reasons to not support the Girl Scouts, aside from the fact that their cookies taste like graham crackers that have been sitting in your grandmother's pantry since 1987, aside from that, here's another one. The Girl Scouts tweeted this yesterday, a note of congratulations to Amy Coney Barrett for becoming the 5th woman appointed to the Supreme Court. Now, that's not the reason to not support them. That's fine. Okay? That's a, very nonpartisan. It's a tweet saying congratulations. There's a picture of all 5 women that have been appointed to the Supreme Court, and that's it. Non-political, nonpartisan, fine. But leftists, of course, were upset about this because any positive acknowledgement of Amy Coney Barrett or any other conservative is verboten, is anathema, heretical. You can't do it. They can't stomach it. They can't allow it. So they ganged up and bullied the Girl Scouts into deleting and essentially apologizing for this post and saying that it was a mistake to put it up because they didn't want to be political. They weren't trying to be political. They're a non-political organization. But then, shocker of shockers here, Girl Scouts have tweeted in the past congratulating liberal female Supreme Court justices like Sonia Sotomayor, and those tweets are still up. So those apparently are not political. It becomes political all of a sudden when you're congratulating a conservative. Right. So what are the Girl Scouts teaching girls here? What's the lesson? They're teaching girls to cave to peer pressure, back down to the mob, apologize for doing things that aren't wrong, just because it made someone's tummy hurt and they complained about it, and conform to the crowd. That's what they're being taught. Basically, all of the exactly wrong sorts of lessons. That's what you get from the Girl Scouts. Number 4, I'm going to show you something. Speaking of things that seem like a joke at first, I'm going to show you this. This is 100% real, I assure you. But with no setup, here it is without context. Watch.
As of today, there have been 38,160 cases of COVID-19 in Oregon, with 390 new cases being reported today. Sadly, we are also reporting 3 deaths today, bringing the statewide total for COVID-19 related deaths to 608.
Now, for those listening to the podcast, the audio probably didn't sound too bad. You're probably listening to that and thinking, okay, what's the problem? It sounded like maybe some kind of health official announcing COVID daily death numbers, which is what it was. That's a senior official with the Oregon Health Authority making this announcement about COVID. Problem, and what you can't see if you're only listening, is that the woman is actually wearing clown makeup. She is dressed like a clown to tell us who died from COVID. This was apparently supposed to be some sort of Halloween thing, okay? But that's not an excuse. I mean, just because it's going to be Halloween soon, That doesn't mean you could just wear a costume anytime you want, regardless of the circumstance. How would you feel if you were going in for heart surgery and your heart surgeon, right before you went under from the anesthesia, you see your heart surgeon coming in dressed like Freddy Krueger to celebrate the occasion? What, it's Halloween, relax. Or what if you went to identify a relative's remains at the coroner's office and the woman there is dressed like a sexy vampire? It's not appropriate for the occasion. And I would say costumes really are never appropriate for adults. It never really works, but especially not in a professional context. Though I also have to say, the fact that Oregon has literal clowns running their pandemic response does not surprise me at all. Okay, number 5, here's another addition to everyone's favorite genre of TikTok videos. That would be the genre of women having mental breakdowns on camera over news events. A lot of these. Usually this is done in the car, which I think actually explains a lot, by the way, about women drivers. That this is where they do this is where they have their emotional collapses. That doesn't surprise me a lot either. But here's something a little bit different. This is a mental breakdown in the bathtub. This is a few days old, but it's still good stuff, still worth playing. Here it is. Check it out.
Don't mind me. I'm in the bath, but while I'm in here, I got a notification that Amy Coney Barrett was officially confirmed to the Supreme Court. I didn't think I would be this affected by it, but I'm scared. I'm scared for me, other women, people who need help, everyone except white men. So, please vote next week. Let's try to do something.
You know, I see videos like this and there's this hopeful part of me that says this has to be parody, it has to be a joke. And maybe it is, I don't know. There's obviously planning and forethought and editing even that goes into this. Why would someone do this except as a joke? You're crying in a bathtub. That's humiliating. This is a humiliating, embarrassing moment in your life. Why would you intentionally document it and spread it online for others to see? If I ever cried in a bathtub, if I ever took a bath at all, I would be embarrassed. But if I was crying in a bathtub, I think the last thing I would ever want to do is tell everybody about it. It would be a shameful moment that I would keep locked inside myself for my entire life, never to be spoken of to anyone, ever. So why are you putting your own embarrassing, eminently mockable moments online? And this is what people do on TikTok. It's sort of like a form of self-cyberbullying. They're cyberbullying themselves by putting this stuff out there. It's like if you peed your pants and then immediately pulled out your phone and did a live stream. Hey guys, so just want to let you know I just peed my pants. Yeah, a lot of pee just all over the pants. Just pretty embarrassing. Thought I should let you know. Okay, see you later, bye. I don't understand the point. I don't see why you would do that. But we ask, who would do this except to be funny? Well, the answer is narcissists. Narcissists who think that every moment of their lives needs to be out there and observed by everyone, who think that everything they do and everything they think and say and feel is profound and important and worthy of attention, who think that every moment of their lives, every event is nothing more than an opportunity to gain more attention for themselves. Those are the kinds of people who do this. Just total narcissists. And there are a lot of those out there, and so there are a lot of these types of videos. Number 6, we'll do a bonus number 6 here, finally, bonus content. I want to show you a video made by some friends of ours. I think this kind of shows you what we're up against. Check it out.
They said you can give me anything.
What you looking for, man?
This ain't a typical request.
Look, bro, I can get whatever you need. Guns, drugs, women. You a gambling man? You like that hard stuff? You need somebody to go away? Look, you got cash? I'll make things happen.
baby parts.
What'd you say?
You heard me. Unborn human baby parts.
Sicko.
I thought you can get anything.
What'd it look like to you? Planned Parenthood?
You know, it's a joke, but it's not at the same time. This is what Planned Parenthood does and was caught doing. And yet $500 million, $500 million every year from the taxpayer. And it does almost still shock me, almost, that these people were caught on tape. And the tapes are still there. You can see them on YouTube. Selling human body parts. The body parts of babies on tape, laughing about it. We saw these videos. Not deceptively edited, by the way. That's a myth. That's a lie. Planned Parenthood did their own forensic analysis of those tapes that were done by Dave Daleiden in the Center for Medical Progress. And they themselves admitted that they were not substantially edited in any way that's manipulative or deceptive. They admitted that in their own report. Go look that up too. And so this is all on tape. And yet nobody talks about it anymore, like it never happened. And still, the $500 million keeps funneling every year from your pockets into theirs, with no sign of stopping. If it didn't stop with a Democrat a Republican Congress and a Republican president, it's not ever going to stop. Well, I hope you enjoyed that clip from the Matt Walsh Show. If you did, go ahead and hit that subscribe button right down there so you can stay up to date on all of our future content.